So we came to the most lovely part of my business. Rosatom is absolutely a unique corporation. All the best things, they cost nothing. And the second best, they cost a lot of money.
Exactly. That's what we need.
It's like in the plane. First of all, you have to put mask on yourself and then to put mask on the kid.
A very good morning from a very cold weather Moscow, where we are here present today at our first episode of Youreka podcast. With me today is Mr. Dmitri Raspopin, who is the head of Nuclear Medicine Division in Rosatom International Networks. Good morning, Dimitri. How are you today?
Good morning, Som. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much. Yes, the weather is cold, but in the studio the weather is completely fine. The atmosphere is fantastic. So I'm glad to be here today and to speak a little bit about our topics in medicine.
Thank you so much, Dimitri. I believe that today we are going to have a very fruitful discussion on a very important issue that we have in our world today of nuclear medicine. But before we get into all the specifics and details, Dimitri, tell me about yourself. Tell me about yourself don't think of it as an interview, but as a friend. If you had to start from the very, very beginning, right from where you were born and your life, can you tell me about yourself, please?
All right, of course. Well, if we start from the very, very beginning, I was born in St. Petersburg in 1987. That time it was city of Leningrad. It's absolutely fantastic and graceful city. I graduated from St. Petersburg State University, philological faculty. I was studying Scandinavian languages, Scandinavian culture, because it was by that time was very close to Scandinavia, and cooperation with these countries was very good by that time. Then when I turned 20, I moved to Moscow and I started my career in Moscow. I worked in absolutely different fields of industry. I was working at the ministry like a bureaucracy man. Then I decided to switch to the business side. And I also spent a few years working for the Russian government in Denmark in the Russian trade mission in Denmark, doing some exports and investment cooperation with Denmark.
Wow, so you are a well-traveled person. You have been to Denmark, you have come from St. Petersburg, you have been to a lot of places. So Dimitri, when you were in school, so what are the extra things that you did in school other than learning?
I was doing actually absolutely different things, but I was more like a humanitarian person. But I was studying math and physics. I was studying actually in that class. I was quite good in mathematics and physics, but I preferred more to study like humanitarian science and activities and so on. And plus, I was doing a lot of sports at school, so that was my passion. And actually, I was dreaming to become a famous football player. So I was playing football from 6 or 7 years old, and by 15 or 16 years old, I became a candidate in football. But then I decided that to pick the university career. But I'm still playing so far.
You definitely look the part. You look very fit to play football. So I'm sure you must be playing a lot of football. But since you are talking about your study in school and football and all these things, how did you enter the nuclear medicine field? Because it's not a very popular line to go through to people to choose.
My sister is a doctor. So I was born in a little bit from a doctor family, and my sister is a very famous in St. Petersburg plastic surgeon with experience of more than 20 years, and I've seen all her way from being a student to become a doctor. And one day she said to me that if you enter this field of industry, it's very hard to escape it. I came to the medical side. I have a very good friend of mine. He is the owner of one big Russian company doing some medical stuff, doing some distribution of medical equipment. And by the time I came back from Denmark, my contract expired. We had a dialogue with him, and he offered me to become an innovation director and to bring some interesting and new technologies in the medical side, and medical equipment, medical science, and different kinds of studies, different kinds of work, startups, because in Scandinavia it's a lot of startups in the medical side. He offered me to do that thing on that part, and I became, let's say, innovation director in that field of industry, doing and relating to the medical equipment. So I had a lot of travelings to different exhibitions and see what's going on in the field actually, and also like stuff in Scandinavia. This is how I actually entered the medical side and started working for medical field.
That's quite an interesting story, to start from the Ministry of Trade in Russia and Denmark to come to your private company and then do all the innovation that you did in that company. What are you doing right now? How does your typical day looks right now?
We're promoting all the solutions of Rosatom dedicated to the medical side, to the medicine around the world, dedicated to the medical equipment, to the radiopharmaceuticals, to construction of nuclear medicine centers, and so on and so on. So I wouldn't say that we sell these solutions, no. I would better call it that we provide an access to the world, to our friendly countries, and access to the people for innovative medical solutions, to let's say, to make a longer life expectancy, to make a better living, and to make a better healthcare system in Russia and outside of Russia. So I'm relating to that part of the business. It's better to say that I'm not a doctor, so I'm more on the manager side. And all my days, me and my colleagues were, doing some stuff concerning the more for the management, for the business development, and how to develop these technologies around the world.
And that's exactly what we need for our podcast, to understand the business dynamics of any field that Rosatom is representing. Talking about your field, about your management, and how nuclear medicine is such a vital field for us today, I understand it is a really serious job, or are there any funny moments that people are enjoying? Because it sounds like a lot of heavy stuff is going on in the background.
Of course, a lot of stuff, a lot of hard stuff, as you said, is coming around. It's very, very difficult field to work in, but all my day consists of funny moments with my colleagues, and of course, without taking it sometimes as a joke. So many funny moments happen to me and my colleagues every day. And we like to smile at each other and do some jokes. It's a job. It's part of our job, let's say.
Any specific joke you would like to share?
It's hard to consider right now. Just bunch of interesting stuff, because we travel a lot, and we have to communicate with people from all the parts of the world. For instance, Rosatom International Network, we have more than 15 regional offices. So we meet our colleagues with absolutely different cultures, and we have cross-cultural communication, and all these parts of the world, they have their sense of humor, and we have good stuff.
Well, that sounds a lot of fun and very exciting. So let's dig a bit deeper about the field. What exactly is nuclear medicine? How does it work? Break it down for me, but in the simplest language possible. What are the advantages that we have in the field of nuclear medicine, and how does it cure oncological diseases?
There is a term in English language which is called ELY. Explain me like I'm 8 years old.
Exactly. That's what we need.
I will try to do that. I'll try to do it. I'll do my best. So, for instance, There was a breakthrough many years ago by doctors, by scientists. They made X-ray machines. X-ray machines in the medical field help the doctors to see what's going on with the patient from outside. So if we talk about nuclear medicine, it's absolutely vice versa. So with the help of radiopharmaceuticals, with radioactive isotopes, the doctor can see what's going on inside of the body of the patient, the organ of the patient. Nuclear medicine consists of two parts. It's very important to notice. The diagnostics and the therapy. And again, explain with easy words, hard things. For instance, we have thyroid gland, and thyroid gland emits iodine. So this is why it's quite successful to cure oncological disease dedicated to thyroid gland, because simply we submit with a radioactive source, which is called iodine 131. We substitute the real iodine emitted by thyroid gland, and this is how we actually cure oncologic disease. This is from the part of therapy. And from the part of diagnostics, I would like to give you a good example. Because all kinds of tumors, they like glucose. And so scientists mixed the glucose with a radioactive source, which is called fluor-18, generated at the cyclotron machine for making radiopharmaceuticals. So they mixed it, and the final source called fluorodeoxyglucose. It's hard to spell even in Russian, but shortly speaking, it's called FDG. So FDG help the doctors around the world to make a correct diagnostics. It's actually one of the most popular isotopes, which is used in together with technetium-99 in 80% of diagnostic procedures around the world. And for the current moment, it's about more than 20 million cases diagnosed of cancer each year. So we can call dozens of millions of procedures around the world dedicated to diagnostics. So simply saying that nuclear medicine consists of two parts is diagnostics and the therapy. And if we talk about the latest trends, it's called theranostics, like diagnostics and the therapy. When you, at the same time, with the radioactive isotope, you at the same time you make a diagnostics and the therapy of the patient at the same time. So, briefly speaking, something like that.
Lot of information for me to digest at the moment, but I believe that for our viewers, it is very important to understand how these techniques work, because it is a new field of technology that is coming out, and given the fact that you said there are 20 million cases in the world that are going to happen of cancer, it becomes a very important part for us to understand how this technology works and how we can help cure those 20 million cases that will happen in this year and maybe more in the future. But I will ask to you the most important question that comes into the mind of any person who has heard the word radioactive, since nuclear medicine is radioactive stuff. Is it really safe? Is it really safe for the patient to have such dosage? And when we are talking about safe, how much improved it is from the traditional methods that we have at this moment right now?
Well, answering your first question, it's absolutely safe, and this is confirmed by international studies, because the patient actually gets the very low doses of radiopharmaceutical in the body. It's such low that it doesn't affect the body itself, but at the same time, the efficiency of that is tremendous. It's absolutely significant, because at that time, doctor can see the tumor, can see the part of the tumor. The doctor can decide what to do with it next. It absolutely doesn't affect the other parts of the body. If we compare it to traditional methods, it is non-invasive. and comparing for instance, to surgery, and comparing to the chemotherapy, it doesn't bother the other parts of the body instead of diseased part of the body. So these are actually three main things. So first of all, it's non-invasive. The second of all, it can make a diagnostics. It can make a diagnostics at the very, very early stage of cancer, and at the same time it can get a treatment to the patient at the very latest stages of cancer, which other methods of medicine cannot provide. For instance, we can talk about third and fourth stage of cancer.
That gives not just information about how the medicine works, but I believe it's also a question of hope that it is given to people who are at the late stage cancer and probably have lost hope about any cure that can help them save their life, and to find such an information that there is nuclear medicine available for them to help solve that issue and help them cure themselves, even if it's very late for them. This, I believe, is a very good opportunity for humanity itself to find how we can help save more lives. So I believe that there is an important part about how it is based on cancer treatment. But is there any other use of nuclear medicine? Is it just limited to cancer treatment, or there are other fields where we can also use them?
It's absolutely wonderful question, because when I just came to that industry, that was the absolutely interesting part for myself, because when nuclear medicine just started, it's of course it was dedicated to, first of all, to oncological diseases. But as progress develops, right now nuclear medicine methods can be used in diagnostics and treatment in such fields of medicine like cardiology, neurology, rehabilitation, endocrinology, in cardiovascular diseases. And we really hope that in the nearest future the scientists, world scientists, will find a new cases to apply for the nuclear medicine. So for the current moment, thanks to innovative technologies around the world, we see no limits for the development of this industry. I think it's one of the biggest advantages of nuclear medicine's variety of usage in different fields of.
So now we have a lot of applications. We also have a main application, and so we understand there is a lot of demand for this type of technology. So let's talk business, the main part that we have come for. So how popular is nuclear medicine worldwide? What is the total addressable market that we have for all the technologies that you have developed, and what are the general global market economics, the top players, what is the revenue size, market cap, and how can we get to know more about them?
So we came to the most lovely part of my business. I'm joking. Well, the market is absolutely huge right now. First of all, it's important to say that it's developing day by day. And when we talk about this market, of course, it's not only about the Russian market, and this is why we work with the whole world. But if we talk about the world market dedicated to nuclear medicine, we can divide by two parts: production of radiopharmaceuticals, and of course, production of medical equipment where these radiopharmaceuticals are used, like PET CT scanners, like SPECT scanners, like linear accelerators, like cyclotron machines and accelerators, which actually produce these sources to treat and to diagnose patients. So the total market in the world, right now it counted about $500 billion US dollars, and by 2030 it's absolutely correct, and according to the field statistics of medicine, and by 2030 this market will probably reach $1 trillion US dollars, approximately, something like that. And the market is growing so fast that even big pharma companies from big pharma right now are showing the interest to this field of industry. And I can now, like few cases, like company Novartis, big famous pharmaceutical company, which has bought a lot of startups for last years, and actually this company spent billions of dollars to buy startups in nuclear medicine. So it's absolutely tremendous.
Wow, so I believe there's a lot of money to be made in this field, and I agree that since it's a growing market, there would be a lot of players who would be very interested to enter this market and make money while we are helping lives. But you are from Rosatom, so we must always ask, definitely, what are the main achievements of Rosatom in this field?
In the field of nuclear medicine, Rosatom is making so far many good things. And as I told you before, when we just started our discussion, so we were not selling our solutions, but we provide an access to better healthcare and to extend the life expectancy of people and so on and so on. So when we speak about our solution, it is a complex. We provide radiopharmaceuticals. We provide and we manufacture. Okay, we not just provide, but we manufacture radiopharmaceuticals. We manufacture and provide the medical equipment. We take a big part in construction of nuclear medicine centers. Now we are able to provide also medical service and make medical tourism for like foreign partners, foreign countries. But if we speak about radiopharmaceuticals so far, Rosatom entities produce about 11 radiopharmaceuticals, radioisotopes, and right now we are constructing one of the biggest factories in Europe, in Russia and in Europe, which is located in Obninsk, which will provide and produce radiopharmaceuticals. And by 2027, 2030, it will be more than 21 production line, which will produce about more than 20 different radioisotopes and radiopharmaceuticals. And of course, we will cover not only the internal demand of the market, but we will definitely try to help our partners, our friendly countries and countries from BRICS region, which is very important for us so far, to provide our production to these markets, very important production, like production of Moly 99. It's the radioisotope which is used for technetium generator 99, which is used in more than 80% of procedures for diagnostics around the world.
Wow. I can already feel the property prices in Obninsk rising because of this factory. Already very expensive property here in Russia. So, coming back to our business part. How does a general business model work in the field of nuclear medicine? Is it all under one single umbrella entity, or do you have separate divisions for R&D, research and development, or different sector for trade and different section for production, or is it all together in one entity?
Well, we divided the business models on two parts, like producers and operators of the sources of equipment, whatever. If we talk about radiopharmaceuticals, so there are two options. Half-life radiopharmaceuticals, which are mostly made on the machines like accelerators or the cyclotrons. So there are producers of the cyclotron complex. And if we talk about like isotopes with more time of living, we call it like a very small and private club of producers of nuclear and research reactors, where they produce actually radiopharmaceuticals. At that point of view, Rosatom is absolutely a unique corporation where we do both. We produce isotopes at the cyclotrons, and we produce the cyclotrons for producing radiopharmaceuticals. We produce radiopharmaceuticals at nuclear research reactors, and we provide and we produce the nuclear medicine equipment as well. And we, of course, we will be not able to do that without having a proper R&D base for that. So of course we have scientific entities inside of Rosatom umbrella, under Rosatom umbrella, which helps us to develop newest technologies in that field.
So basically you have a big entity called Rosatom, which has different sectors, companies working in different fields to provide all encompassing solutions for the field. So you have cyclotrons and the elements you make in the cyclotrons, and always the trade. So let's assume for a moment, since we are having a discussion about business, let's assume for a moment that I am a developing country. I'm a representative of a developing country and I want to set up nuclear medicine in my country. Currently, let's say I do not have anything. So how does it start? Like, what Rosatom can offer a foreign partner who wants to work with Rosatom to get this technology into my country? What does Rosatom actually offer to such developing countries as foreign partners?
Well, we appreciate each partner that we have in our portfolio, in our negotiations pipeline. Each country has absolutely different abilities and different demand for the nuclear medicine or for healthcare solution, let's say. So first of all, when we come to the market, we analyze the current situation, the current status of nuclear medicine, or even at the healthcare sector. We make different analytics dedicated to that point of view. We need to understand the demand. And basing of the current demand, the current abilities of the countries, we try to give a complex solution. As I told you before, the complex solution, which consists of it can be a nuclear medicine center. We're not just constructing the box, okay? So we are providing the key solution under the roof of, let's say, nuclear medicine sector or center, or like medicine center, which can have medical equipment produced by Rosatom. We supply also radiopharmaceuticals. We can operate such centers, yes. So we're not just like do the EPC contract, but we can also operate such centers to get ERR back.
Wow. So basically, if I want to approach you for any kind of solution, you are not only analyzing what you can offer, but also what I already have to figure out the solutions that you can provide for us. And since you are such a big entity, you can provide a lot of solutions. So I believe there is a lot of opportunity to make money in this field, since we have had this great discussion on business. So what if I want to enter this field as a student myself? Let's say I want to work in this field. How do I enter this field? What should I study? What should I look out for? What are the opportunities available?
Well, we need to divide your question by two parts. It depends, of course, everything depends on you. If you want to become a manager on that side, or you become to be a scientist or to be a doctor. If we talk about diagnostics and radiotherapy, so there is a division in, for instance, in Moscow State University. It's called Radiochemistry Division, where you can get your degree and proper education in that in that part. If you want to be like medical physics, so you go to the medical physics division, which is also provided by like a university under the Rosatom roof, for instance, or our partner universities. So most of the things depend on you, but to let you know and for your better understanding, there are no limits in this field so far, and I gave you the numbers of this field around the world for young experts, and they can become what they want actually.
Wow, that sounds really hard, I would say, to get into these specific fields of physics and medicine. But once you get in, I believe there's a lot of opportunity available to grow your career. So is this field more of a field where it is based on working in a company and working in jobs, institutions, or are there opportunities of entrepreneurship where I can start with private capital, some company and do business? What are the areas where people can look forward to creating a business?
It's actually both. So you can work in a big company or a small company to do different kinds of business, like the distributors and producers of equipment, distributors of equipment, as well as like producers and distributors of radiopharmaceuticals. There are IT companies dedicated to software who provide the IT solutions and the proper software, because right now the field is changing so fast. And all the biggest players, they are conquering for actually not for the hardware but for the software, because with the help of software solutions, with the synergy of, for instance, radiopharmaceuticals, you can get a better picture of what's going on with the tumor. You can get a faster picture, and for instance, you can get a lower degree of lower dosage for the patient, like the dosimetry. So you give lower dosimetry to the patient, and you get a better picture and a better result. So this field gathers different players, absolutely different players. There are also a lot of scientific startups who does from the university bench, from the university bench, interesting solutions in all that spheres of industry, and the startups can give a big effort and contribute to the industry in the future. As I told you before, so small startups attract actually big amounts of investments from bigger players right now.
Okay, so is it really a capital-intensive industry, or is it more of a labor industry? Do I need a lot of capital to start business, or can I hire just a lot of people for cheap labor and do this business? And how much of a role does research plays in this field?
All the best things, they cost nothing, and the second best, they cost a lot of money. So of course you need approximate volume of money to start something. But if you have a good idea, there are a lot of opportunities inside of, or let's say inside of our corporations, inside of Rosatom, under a Rosatom umbrella, or under the umbrella of Russian Federation. We have a lot of institutions, or let's say venture investment funds who invest and who help our young developers to bring their technology to life, and to bring it to make it work around the world.
So if I were to start a business, I would find definitely capital to invest in the business and grow it to help provide solutions for the world.
It's possible, yes.
So since you have been working in this field for a very long time, and you have become an expert in this field in managing nuclear medicine as your head of division already. So if you had, for our viewers, any 3 life hacks or advice that they can use in their daily life to not only achieve success in this specific field of career, but also in their daily life, and probably help the people in their country to make their lives better, what would they be?
I don't think that I'm the best person to give advices, but if you would ask me, I would say that first of all, if you come to this industry, you have to come with a hot heart, but with a cold brain, because it's not an easy field to work. You see a lot of different cases, and not all of these cases are good concerning the diseases, concerning the oncological diseases. Providing a help to bunch of the people around the world, you also have to care about yourself, It's like in the plane. First of all, you have to put mask on yourself and then to put mask on the kid. In this field of industry, you have to do absolutely the same. At least this is my understanding of the question. The second point, which is important, of course, we have to focus on results. But sometimes results can disappoint you. But the way you do to reach this result is absolutely amazing. You meet a lot of interesting people, interesting partners, technologies around the world. You provide and you get very good communication in that. So sometimes it's also important to focus on the process itself, because life is very short. And to reaching the result, you have to remember about the process as well. And the third thing, it is good advice for this industry and for other. You have to believe yourself, believe in your team. Again, because the project and the field of industry is very hard. It's hard to build a big business model and to provide help to the people around the world without believing in yourself, without believing in your team. Again, situations can be very different. What can happen to you and during the process of this activity. So you have to remember to believe in yourself and to believe in your team, your teammates who help you every day to do this absolutely great job.
Thank you so much, Dimitri. I believe that's the main idea of life, c'est la vie, that sometimes it's rain, sometimes it's sunshine, and sometimes it's both. So I believe that all your advices will be very important for all our viewers who would just not only want to get into the field of nuclear medicine, but would like to learn about life, about how a person who comes from St. Petersburg, from learning Scandinavian languages, now works in the field of nuclear medicine in such heavy knowledge-based areas where we are trying to save as many lives as possible from different diseases. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dimitri. I believe it has been my pleasure to sit with you for such a long time and learn from you so much. So many things that I have not heard before or not learned before. And I believe our viewers will do the same. And I believe in today's world where there is a lot of inequality, there is a lot of poverty, there is a lot of people who are going hungry every day, we can work towards solving a problem of health and healthcare with nuclear medicine. Thank you so much, Dimitri. And that would be all from us today. And I will see you at the next episode. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.